Hello World Wide Web, I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality of best hair. And the Legendary Pictures Godzilla franchise has become big enough in its own right that naturally, the Asylum would come a knocking for a few mockbusters to see what money they can make. Such as we see in today's review of Ape vs. Monster, an obvious mockbuster of Godzilla vs. Kong. Though possibly due to the difficulties everyone's having getting stuff out lately, this actually came out 1 month after the movie it was aping off of. Pardon the phrase, but it has been a long time since I've covered an Asylum movie, and in the years since, they have honed their craft, improved their skills, increased the recognition of their name so people know the Asylum. They recognize it. Like you would a venomous animal, but surely in all that time that means they know how to make better movies now, though. Right? Well, in Ape vs. Monster, the basic concept of Godzilla vs. Kong remains the same. We've got a giant ape, and it has to fight a giant monster. But we spend more time watching the human characters instead. This being tied into secret government projects, extraterrestrial life, odd family drama, and, of course, everyone ignoring all the obvious warning signs and going full steam ahead on the stupidest plans imaginable so as to pad out the running time with facepalms. This might prove to be a challenge now that I've retired the old head slapping, but anyway, let's take a look at Ape vs. Monster and see if it will finally answer why I am really not enthusiastic about doing a Summer of Asylum. Honestly, it doesn't start off all that bad. I mean, yeah, it's just the opening credits superimposed to oddly cut stock footage, but this is probably the part of the movie that actually feels like it belongs in a kaiju film. Unfortunately, things quickly go wrong as soon as the Asylum has to come up with things themselves, giving us a shitty CGI space capsule hurtling towards Earth.
ISS was nearly hit by a rogue satellite. Do you guys have anything in that sector?
That's a negative, no red. We have no authorized air traffic in that quadrant.
You kids are always monkeying around with something.
Silly youngins, always spending millions of dollars to hurl spacecraft dangerously close to the International Space Station just for funsies. Dr. Linda Murphy, played by Ariana Scott, points out that the mysterious object does not appear natural.
It ain't a meteor?
Unlikely. Possibly a satellite.
Whoa, you mean to tell me that the thing they called a satellite might actually be a satellite? Well, this changes everything!
It's falling at 28,000 feet per second.
Considering re-entry speed should be closer to 17,000, and that's with a heat shield if you want to survive re-entry, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say this movie has ended before it starts. Jones, played by Shane Hartigan, says that the ISS has a picture of the object. And yep, that's a spacecraft.
Whoa. Dr. Reynolds, gotta call you back.
This is so monumental. I gotta hang up on Homeland Security and maybe call up someone important. Later, first we see the pod gently glide back down to Earth on its parachutes before BAM! We're playing Ape Escape! Anyway, the important guy for her to talk to would be Oscar nominee Eric Roberts, who plays Ethan Marcos. Surprise, Ethan! The mysterious falling object was one of ours, the Elb.
This is classified.
It just crashed in South Central Chavez County, New Mexico, sir. It's not classified any longer.
Damn it! I knew I should have sprung for the second-tier spacecraft confidentiality insurance.
That's somewhere near Roswell.
Sir, please, rip off one movie at a time! Seems that this here pod satellite thing was in fact a probe that the US launched back in '85 with the help of the Soviet Union! A plan they had since the fucking 40s, evidently.
Yeah, they determined a joint mission into deep space. If successful, it would end the Cold War and significantly boost the economies of both countries.
Okay, how and fucking how? How does turning the space race into the space hold hands and skip gently along somehow make both countries just stand up and go, I guess our currency's worth more now?
Success meaning?
Contact with alien life forms.
Oh, I get it. It was a joint covert operation to capitalize on the popularity of E.T. But hey, it's been 30 years and they haven't seen the probe since. Until now. So they gotta go out there, find the pod, and scrape the dead chimp out of the thing. Gotta stink something to high heaven by now. Thus they head out. The little away team is headed by General Reynolds, played by Greg Markethal, while Linda stays back in the Humvee, offering strategic support over their GoPro feeds.
Just don't post it on stinking YouTube.
Oh, come on, do I tell you how to do your job? Thus, they arm to the teeth and begin sweeping each other like mad with their weaponry, before long finding the Elb. Already, Linda can see something odd about this.
The ship wasn't banged in. It was banged out.
So the official report is the ship went vroom, pow, bang! Using official scientific terminology. There's also this weird green goo everywhere, but Linda warns them to never trust alien goo, so they back away. But something isn't right. There is something near them. In this big, wide open, brightly lit area with literally no cover. Naturally, they are ambushed by an enormous ape! The chimp did survive and has grown 15 goddamn feet tall, easily killing every single one of them! Maybe Linda can save the day. Or forget to load her pistol, trip herself, and then whack her head into a rock, knocking herself out faster than the ape slaughtered the entire team. I've seen some stupid maneuvers in horror, but that was impressive. Oh well, one trank dart and the ape is down. If you want something done right, you gotta call the Russians. Introducing Eva Kuleshov, played by Katie Sarika. Seems she was old friends with Linda way back when. They were there when the top secret mission was launched. At 9 years old. Let's bring your daughter to work day or something.
It's good to see you, Murphy, even under the circumstances.
And I gotta admit, 39 ain't old, but they still look pretty damn good for it. Point is, they were attacked by an ape. The chimp they sent into space, Abraham. Probably because of all that weird space goo everywhere.
The capsule was covered in it. It is definitely not of terrestrial origin.
Fantastic.
And I'm pretty sure you've noticed by now, but the acting here, it isn't good by any stretch of the imagination, but I wouldn't be so hasty as to throw that all on the actors and actresses. Remember, this is an Asylum film. Who's to say what little money they spend on rehearsals and retakes? I've seen actors that I know do really good normally in Asylum films giving amazingly shitty performances. The magic alien goo can survive in space and re-entry heat, so who knows what else it can do. In the meantime, they haul the ape back to the Langley Research Center before we watch a lizard lick up some luminescent liquid. Oh, so the ape is an ape, and the monster is a Gila monster. What do you know? Truth in advertising.
Black, as I recall.
Aw, she remembered how her 9-year-old friend liked her coffee. It seems their enormous ape is continuing to grow in captivity. And unfortunately, that means as he keeps growing, he's been breaking the fuck out of the chains they've put him in.
Release the gas, do it now!
I can't, he broke it!
Not only that, but their only method of pacification has been rendered useless. Now there is nothing stopping him from breaking into the East Wing, getting all their wooden barrels and all the red neckties. In an attempt to defuse the situation, the soldiers offer to blow the creature's brains out. So Linda releases the gas. That was broken just seconds ago. And everything's fine. Her superiors question her loyalty and all. But I'd be more worried about Eva's superiors.
Нам нужно поручительство, первый секретарь.
Что ж, товарищ Кулешова, вы теперь...
I tried turning on the subtitles for these scenes, but there weren't any. I don't speak Russian, I don't got a clue what they're saying, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that they're talking shit about the director behind his back. Oh, well, the point is that Linda truly cares for Abraham, and is sorry about all the pain these space missions have caused him. And that right there is why I'm having a hard time believing she's just a terrible actor. How many bad actors do you know who can pull off the pretty cry for the camera? But things are getting complicated. Russia involved giant ape, space goo, so the military does what it does best. Send in one miscellaneous grunt to examine the completely unguarded extraterrestrial biohazard in the middle of the desert, only for him to be eaten alive by the now gigantic monster! The important characters don't see what happened exactly, some kind of EMP interference, but Linda spots what she believes to be the shadow of an enormous tail. Oh, that's it. She's going out there to investigate. Yeah, leaving Abraham here, but it's fine. He's not growing quite as fast as before, if I can handle that. Linda heads out with Jones, as well as Myers, played by Malcolm T. Green.
Over here.
Oh, God.
This isn't from the crash.
Who just left their ass out here in the middle of the desert? Before they can check if the ass is okay, Ethan calls up like, Linda! Been a while. Yeah, those Russians sure shit the bed, didn't they? Fucking Russians. Always Russian, am I right? Anywho, got some readings of a large life form nearby. You probably want to check that out. It's gotta be plot relevant. However, while this is going on, chemist Eisenstein, played by Irina Picard, has discovered that the alien goo is in fact dying. Space and fire are one thing, but Earth's atmosphere, well, that's just a bit too exotic, and it's killing off their only sample of extraterrestrial life. Of course, it might survive a bit better inside an organic compound.
I want you to take every viable sample and load it into a syringe. We're going to inject the alien matter into Abraham.
So let's just shoot it straight into the veins of the already enormous simian. Oh fuck, why not just shoot it up yourself, Ava? We could also rip off Attack of the 50-Foot Woman while we're at it. While she sets up the climax, we hop back over to Linda and friends. Seems the railway bridge is out.
It's heading straight towards it. This is a ComSec priority. Patch me into the DOT ASAP.
This has nothing to do with us.
Lynn? Not sure if you noticed this, but in the time it took you to say those lines, the train would have already made it to the busted part of the bridge. Even then, the monster arrives, attacking with shitty CGI! And the group decides a railway bridge was somehow the only way their fucking Hummer was gonna cross, so, fuck it, these boots are made for walking. But when Eva hears word that contact was lost with Linda's group, she hops into a helicopter and flies off to rescue them! Good thing, too, as she just so happens to spot them just before they just so happen to be attacked by the gigantic lizard!
Myers, get back!
Killing miscellaneous character with what, one finger? And is it just me, or does this motherfucker look absolutely nothing like a giant Gila monster? Looks a hell of a lot more like TriStar's Godzilla. Eva uses Hellfire missiles, whereas the monster uses Dig and just leaves. Oh well, that means everyone else can easily regroup and catch up on things.
We lost Myers.
I know. I saw.
Yes, a real tragedy. But hey, free burial. Linda figures that there was probably some leftover alien goo and the lizard ate it or something. Point is, they have a giant monster on their hands. Speaking of which, Abraham hasn't been doing that great lately. Had a growth spurt and is getting kind of pissed off. Killing the gods and breaking free.
He's changed. But how? What caused it?
No idea, Linda. It's just very, very weird. Science, she was always changing, you know?
A creature that size doesn't just disappear.
People think it's your American Bigfoot.
Oh, sweet holy mother of Jesus! We gotta call somebody! Look at the size of that thing! Oh, calm down, Josiah. It's just Bigfoot. A Bigfoot? Oh, hell, I thought we really had something here. But they lost Abraham's trackers somewhere in Virginia, so Linda collects her close friend, and they're off to Washington. A bit late to the party. Everyone already knows that Abraham has gone AWOL.
How can you lose giant ape?
Well, they called up the cryptid hunting experts, but they all brought the shittiest cameras they could find and then spent a good 45 minutes talking about the deeper meaning of their own tire tracks. Secretary Provkin, played by Narek Kirakosian, insults Linda with a hint of FPS Russia formalities, saying, hey, maybe her old estranged father could help, and these creatures are glowing, right? I mean, I didn't really see them glowing, but she says they do because of the alien goo stuff. That's why Abraham doesn't glow, but the monster does. I guess. No, well, it's time to introduce the new military man, General Delaney, played by R.G. Wagner. He's like, hey, sorry about the last military guy, but don't y'all worry your pretty little heads. I'm here to murder the fuck out of the monsters.
This is all academic, girls.
Girls?
The orders have been given. Shoot to kill.
Kill the beast, patronize the women, and check that alien goo for traces of oil. Hoorah! Linda's like, technically Abraham's an employee, but they're like, that's nice toots. Go find out where he is so he can be officially terminated. This reminds Linda that, oh yeah, I fucking hate my father. Shot all kinds of cute animals into space with bullshit rhetoric about progress, but all we got is a giant ape that's most likely insane after 30 years of isolation. Don't worry, Eva is here to tell her how the Soviets do it. Human rights, schmooman rights. The ends justify the means.
So if one man matters not, what chance had an animal?
I can't imagine how that could have possibly even sounded better in your head.
I've learned a lot since then.
About life, love, injecting simians with unknown alien compounds. What was that? Nothing. Point is, within a jump cut, they have redesigned a GPS tracker into an alien cell detector, made super tranquilizer, and invented a Kaiju net deployment system. Even better, the Gila monster is attacking Huntington, so they might be able to save Abraham while the monster hunter is distracted. Looky here, alien goo detected. But oh darn it, this is just some random puddle of Abraham blood. But what's this? The alien cell count is decreasing. Eva's like, yeah, it does that. Which makes Linda question just how she knows this. One thing leads to another, and she reveals that she kinda sorta maybe injected Abraham with every last drop of alien goo they had, causing the supergrowth and the crisis situation they now find themselves in.
For all your education, all your brilliance, you haven't learned anything at all.
Oh, come on, I'm pretty sure she learned that it's very hard to make a kaiju and then just hope that nobody notices. Just as hard as it is to go looking for one without the military taking interest, as a random squad of soldiers have joined them for the hunt for Abraham. Almost distracting us from the fact that Linda has kicked Eva to the curb just before Abraham shows up and slaughters everyone. Not even the very happy man with a flamethrower garden sprayer has a chance. And yeah, depicting enormous size isn't necessarily the easiest thing to do, but they have done a pretty shit job of it in this movie. Abraham was barely any larger when he broke out for getting huge, and now he looks slightly smaller than he was when he first saw him and he was supposedly at his smallest. But oh darn it, Ava had the trank, so hey, no progress made. Again.
This is why girls should not be in combat.
Only unashamed, raging sexists like me. Did I mention that I don't like girls? So Ava's missing, along with an Apache helicopter. Now they gotta figure out what to do about the two monsters still on the loose. Let them fight? Worked for the 2014 Godzilla. But what's this? Linda has a breakthrough about the alien glow.
Although naked to the visible eye,
She can use the visible eye to see the naked. It seems that there was a similar light coming from outer space. Control beams originating from an alien spacecraft.
How do we defend against this?
EDI.
Fuck is that, the Walmart brand EDF? Apparently, yes. Fuck the Earth Defense Force, we have the Extraterrestrial Defense Initiative. And yes, it's already broken and useless. While the general butts heads with Linda's insistence that Abraham is still a good ape, who should happen to roll up but Linda's estranged father, Noah Murphy, played by Rudy Bentz.
Well, hello, my daughter.
Daughter. Is it daughter? Daughter, yes. So now they must work together, as soon as they get over that whole sordid past thing. Oh well, a minute of not particularly convincing dialogue later, and Linda's back on the job. She thinks that the signal controlling the beasts could possibly be jammed, and luckily Daddy here just so happens to know how to do it. But where are the monsters gonna go next?
Oh, I don't know, Washington, D.C.
Well, they've already run out of sets. It was either that, this random lab, or the middle of the fucking desert again. This could be because the aliens seek to destroy the United States of America.
Possibly the world following.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if a real-life hostile alien force attacked the planet and after researching a lot of our movies, legit thought the United States was that goddamn important. No time to argue that, as the aliens are arriving! Them and the monsters are going straight for Washington, D.C. Well, that's enough for Delaney. He's gonna murder the shit out of them! Linda and Dad, however, bring up that anti-alien control beam thing, so that gets installed on the Washington Monument. But they're not gonna bother turning them on until the monsters are already here and attacking. That way, once Abraham is nice and free of alien control, Delaney can just attack the chimpanzee anyway, completely ignoring all warnings not to, and indeed even destroying the Washington Monument, blowing up the anti-alien controlling dish, and crushing himself to death in the process.
I have bad news. Alien beam has regained control of Abraham.
Okay, be honest with me. The bad news is that this movie is still going. But wouldn't you know it, there just so happens to be a handy-dandy anti-alien signal prototype kicking around in a parking lot on the other side of the city. So Linda takes spare character and heads off.
good thing they've already evacuated this place.
It makes it easier to explain how the giant monster is on your side and yet still smashing apartment buildings left and right. Dodging Godzilla, they make it to the parking garage, with a white van with free anti-alien prototype in the back. Some quick crisis situation MacGuffin rewiring later, and boom! They break Abraham's control. The Gila monster, though? Something about the lizard brain makes the alien goo far more effective than human technology. They should have poured that stuff on an anthill. It could have only made this movie better. But that means it's time for the big showdown! Ape versus monster!
Check his ass.
Alright, Linda, one kick lizard ass coming right up. Hey, you want me to do that like monkey foo, or just go with the classic, rip his arms and legs off? But no! Abraham is bitten! Like, once, and all hope seems lost. But what's this? Eva shows up in the nick of time!
Please forgive me!
There's nothing to forgive.
Okay, good to hear. I just needed to get that off my chest. Goodbye. Try not to die, okay? Of course, she's not only here to apologize, but here to help make sure Linda survives. Oh! Eva, you did realize that the gunship had guns, right? You could have tried a missile or two before going that far? This gives Abraham the chance he needs to just punch it once and break its fucking neck. But Ethan calls up that they're now gonna kill Abraham. Nothing you can say will change that. It's ape murder time.
All air units. This is National Security Advisor Marcos. Do not, I repeat, do not fire on the simian.
Or not. I guess he just figured that the climax needed one more little bit of tension or it just doesn't feel right. Following this, the aliens just say fuck it and leave. Therefore, happy ending! The lizard is dead, the aliens are gone, and hey, they even secured a big damn research sanctuary for Abraham and Linda, the head researcher in total control. Abraham, the all-American ape, only slightly insane from 30 years of deep space isolation. Anyway, that was Ape versus Monster. Dear God, why in the hell did I watch another Asylum film? Is it ass? Oh, most certainly. But what in the hell do you expect at this point? These guys have been at this for decades. It's nothing new. It's how they put food on the table. Hell, I respect the hustle at least. As a mockbuster, Ape vs. Monster is meh. There's attempts at reasoning to make the plot have some kind of sense, but for every question that gets answered, at least two are left open and really requires some explanation. Like, how the hell did Abraham survive 30 years in space alone? Especially when chimps in captivity have lifespans that average out at about 32. Big damn issues like this are just hand-waved away unceremoniously. I get it, we're watching a zero-budget train wreck cash grab, but writing some reasoning into the script doesn't cost anything. Though, as with every Asylum feature, the quality all around is pretty blah. The cinematography is just enough to get the job done. Nothing horrendous, but nothing particularly impressive or eye-catching either. And the acting? Oh boy. Again, I can't say if it's because of the actors or the production timeline on that, because let's be honest here, even Eric Roberts' performance wasn't exactly great here. Still, all this sounds like I'm missing the point. It's a giant monster movie. The attraction is the spectacle. In that regard, though, Ape vs. Monster still ain't all that good. Not in the quality of the CGI, believe it or not. Maybe this is one area where the Asylum has improved over the years, but the glimpses of CGI we got, while still pretty bad, aren't nearly as bad as the Asylum used to give us. The problem is there's so damn little of it. The fights are so few and far between, and the monster designs are straight up ass. Abraham grows and shrinks from camera cut to camera cut, and the giant Gila monster is TriStar's Godzilla's lower quality, shittier cousin. It's downright painful at times. Still, these problems could be forgiven if the movie was at least entertaining, but most painful part of this is it simply drags on, with slow dialogue between poorly acted characters trying to build tension with the idea of a hypothetical monster problem that we hardly even get to see, and a 90-minute running time that feels like 150. Therefore, Ape vs. Monster comes in at a painful 1 vial of alien whatever out of 5. It's not the worst one I've ever seen, but 2 out of 5 I love it is so me for a reason. There are a lot of times I can get a good amount of enjoyment out of a 2 out of 5 movie. And I really can't say I can do that with this one. Thank you all for watching. I've been Decker Shado. And remember, when packing up after camping out in the desert, don't forget your ass.
I believe it's a guidance system.
A what?